Vanakkam. Today, I am going to take a very interesting topic. That is, how much cash that you can have at your home, at your office, and what are the cash transactions that you are permitted to do. This is the presentation which I am going to cover as stated in the Income Tax Act of 1961. And before going to the presentation, I want to say my disclaimer that the presentation which I am going to present to you is according to my view, and for further studies, for further clarification, please refer Income Tax Act of 1961. With this introduction, I am going to start today's presentation. How much cash you can have at your home, and what are the important cash transactions that you can have. That is, how much cash you can have at office, at home, and in transit. Answer for the question we will see at the end of the presentation. And what are the other important items that you are going to face, or you are going to deal with the cash problems. What the income tax department says. Say no to cash transactions. So the department says everything you have to carry out on electronic mode or digital mode or check mode or draft mode. So they say that the importance or projections or promotion from the income tax department is say no to cash transactions. What are the certain types of transactions which have serious consequences? Even I can say that what are the important things that we are going to discuss now. One is taking or accepting certain loans or deposits in cash. Everything is in cash. To what extent you can accept, to what extent you are not supposed to accept the cash. Repayment of certain loans or deposits, other cash transactions, disallowance of expenses incurred in cash, deemed income of subsequent year in which the payment is made, and disallowance in respect of fixed assets, that is capital expenditure, cash donations, premium on health insurance, and what are the other important highlights with reference to cash transactions other than the points stated above. So we are going to see each and every point in detail. What section 269 SS of the Income Tax Act says? No person shall take or accept from any person. Person means individual, HUF, firm, company, then LLP, AOP, body of individuals. Any loan or deposit. They say that no person shall take or accept, that is receive, any loan or deposit, any specified sum. That specified sum we will see, except by an account payee check or account payee DD, or by use of electronic clearing system or through such other electronic mode as prescribed. So this way of such other electronic mode covers all. So one is account payee check. So without account payee check, you are not supposed to accept the cash. So if you receive the money of say 20,000 and above, you have to receive only in the form of account payee check or the draft or any RTGS or NEFT or any other electronic mode, including GPay and other transactions. So here, everybody wants to do the business. So here they say that it is section 269 SS. That means all persons are included. Everyone who has received the cash exceeding 20,000 or more. Then what is the liability? That is the important thing that we have to see. It's a very important section. And the third point, it's a very dangerous thing, because this is where the income tax department is going to catch all the sale process. That is, any amount in relation to transfer of any immovable property. It is not movable property. Any immovable property, even if the transfer does not take place. Here, in case if anyone wants to sell a property, suppose if the property sale value, you say, let us take it is 10 lakhs. The payment has to be received only in the form of account payee check or DD or NEFT or RTGS or other electronic mode. In case, normally what the document writers, what the persons they used to write in the document is that today I am going to sell the property to you. In the consideration is I have received the entire consideration in cash. So that is not permitted. Yes, you are accepted, you are permitted to receive the cash only to the extent of 19,999. Normally, all properties of immovable properties, the value of sale exceeds 20,000. So that means all the sale amount should be received only in the form of account payee check or account payee DD or NEFT or RTGS or other electronic mode. And the other thing they say that even if the transfer does not take place, what is the meaning of if the transfer does not take place means it's a sale agreement. You have entered into a sale agreement. That sale agreement advance should also come to you only in the form of account payee check, DD, or NEFT or RTGS or other electronic mode. You are not supposed to receive the advance amount of 20,000 above in the form of cash. What is the consequences that we'll see later? And part amount is received less than 20,000, which is still outstanding. The overall ceiling applies to the subsequent receipt added should not exceed 20,000 or more. Suppose in the year, suppose if you receive 10,000 today, out of 25,000 you receive 10,000 today, and after 2 days if you receive 25,000, that means the entire amount of 25,000, because you have entered into a contract for more than 20,000 rupees, even that 10,000 should also be received in cash. So whenever the amount exceeds 20,000 rupees, you have to receive that amount only in the form of account payee check, account payee DD, NEFT, RTGS, or any other electronic mode. You are not supposed to accept or take any loan. You are not supposed to accept any deposit in cash if the value of the loan or deposit exceeds 20,000 or more. What are the exceptions? So the exception is if you are receiving the money from government, any banking company, post office, savings bank, cooperative bank, they can receive the money exceeding 20,000. Any corporation established by central or state provisional act, that is LIC or transport corporations, they are permitted to receive the amount of 20,000 or more even in cash. And any government company as defined in section 245 of the Companies Act of 2013, and such other institution, association or body or class of institutions, associations or bodies of which the central government may by official notification the official gazette specify. From a person having agricultural income, the recipient is also having the agricultural income. Both of them are agriculturists and neither of them is chargeable to income tax. That is the basic thing. Suppose if anyone is chargeable to income tax, then this exception is not applicable to them. So this is a way. So 20,000 and above, one is permitted to receive the amount in cash towards accepting any loan or deposits. Yes. Okay. I have received it. What is the consequences? That is very, very important. Here, the government says, yes, you can receive the cash, but you have to pay a penalty amount of equal to the amount which you received in cash when the limit exceeds the 20,000 or more. Suppose if you receive a loan amount of 1 lakh in cash, so automatically you have to pay penalty of 1 lakh to the income tax department. Take the example of sale process. Suppose if you are selling any immovable property, if the immovable property sale value exceeds say 20,000, say suppose if the sale is 5 lakhs, you want to sell the property, your property will always go out of your hand. Simultaneously, you have to pay 5 lakhs as penalty to the government. So it's a very, very serious thing. So equal amount penalty equal to the loan or deposit or sale value will be levied as penalty by the income tax department if the receipt of loan or deposit exceeds 20,000 or more in cash. What 269 ST says. Now we have seen so far the effect of 269 SS. Now we have to see 269 ST. Now you have received the loan, but you have to repay the loan. Now you have received a deposit, you have to repay the deposit. Okay. You have received some sale advance or some specified advance, and you have to repay it with interest or without interest. But if the amount of repayment exceeds 20,000 or more, it should be made only in the form of account payee check, account payee DD, or by way of a NEFT or RTGS or any other electronic mode. So receipt is also prohibited, even the repayment of the loan or deposits exceeding 20,000. That means you are repaying. So here the recipient is not responsible. In the first stage, you are receiving deposit or loan. So the person giving is not God. And by section of 269 SS, in section 269 ST, you are giving the loan, you are repaying the loan. So here the person who has received the loan is not affected. The person who has given the repay the loan are facing the problems, are facing the provisions of section 269 ST. So repayment of loan or deposit or any other accounts exceeding 20,000 or more should be paid only in the form of account pay check, account pay DD, or NEFT, RTGS, or any other electronic mode. Now, any branch of a banking company or cooperative society, firm, or other person is not allowed to repay the loan or deposit in cash returned to any person. Here, a deposit, that is a deposit made by, say, Mr. X to the bank. And the deposit along with the interest exceeds 20,000 and the depositor comes to the bank. Sir, I want to close the loan. Yes, you are permitted to close the loan. The bankers are closing the loan, but they are not making direct, they are not supposed to make the direct payment to the deposit holder. They have to transfer the money to the SB account holder of the depositor. From that, then the SB account holder, he can withdraw the money. So from his SB account, he can withdraw the money. But the transfer from the bank, it has to be done only in the form of account transfer. And sometimes some bankers, they are giving pay orders also. But the no banker is supposed to give any deposit return in the form of cash. The ceiling is 20,000 or more. Here the ceiling of 20,000 we can interpret. Suppose if the deposit amount is 18,000 and along with the interest it comes to 21,000. Yes, the entire 21,000 should be transferred to the SB account or current account of the party for the deposit holders. Then only it has to be returned. No cash payment. And aggregate amount of loan or deposit or specific amounts here either individually or jointly with other persons. Suppose A and B made it, A individually you can do it. Suppose A and B you have a joint amount, then also the rule of section 269 ST is applicable. That is repayment of 20,000 and above should be made in the account payee check. Now, cash withdrawal. Here they say that there is a TDS limit of TDS of 2% on the cash limit of 20 lakhs or 1 crore. Suppose if you are not an assessee and if you have not filed the income tax return for continuous 3 years, then the bank they have to deduct TDS at a rate of 2% on every withdrawal if the amount exceeds 20 lakhs. And in case if you are an assessee and if you have submitted the income tax papers to the bank and you are permitted to withdraw the money to the extent of 1 crore, beyond that, the TDS amount of 2% will be deducted by the banker on your entire cash withdrawal exceeding 1 crore. And it is applicable for both SB account and current account, as well as the CC and OD account. So any cash withdrawal, that means the government intention is that you are not supposed to withdraw the cash. There is a ceiling. Now, there are certain exemptions. If the government is repaying, no problem. Section 269 is not applicable. Any banking company, post office savings bank, cooperative bank, any corporation established by central, state, provisional, that is including LIC, transport companies, etc., any government company as defined in section 245 of the Companies Act of 2013, and such as an institution association, they are permitted to repay the loan. For this section 269 ST is not applicable. And what is the consequences? Yes, suppose if you are repaid, then what is the consequences? Again, the income tax department says, why section 269 ST, that a penalty amount equal to 100% to the extent of cash paid when the limit exceeds 20,000 or more. And the penalty is equal to the loan or deposit or sale value. Here, it is not sale value penalty because the section 269 ST covers only the deposit or loan. It is not the sale value. Now, receipt of 2 lakhs. Now, receipt of loan or deposit, repayment of loan or deposit we have seen. Now, during your business transactions, you are receiving cash of 2 lakhs or more in cash, the rule says no person is allowed to the following situation in aggregate from a person in a day or two. In respect of single transaction, in respect of transactions relating to one event or occasion from a person, we will see in detail about this provision. That is in aggregate from a person in a day. Money received from the same person in a single day. So for one day, they are taking one day. If the amount exceeds 2 lakhs, it should not be received in cash. For example, you are going to a jewelry shop, you are buying a jewelry worth of 45 lakhs, 45,000. Then after 1 hour, again you are going to the jewelry shop, same jewelry shop, and you are getting the sale amount of say 1 lakh. Then the third thing is if you are making, if you are buying the jewelry to the tune of say 75,000. So all 1 lakh 45,000 plus 75,000, it exceeds 2 lakhs. So it should be paid only in the form of account paycheck. So they say that you have to aggregate everything. So it is not one transaction per day, multiple transactions you have to consider. Then only you have to, the income tax provision is satisfied. The payment is being made in the form of check, account pay check, account pay DD, or NEFT or RTGS. 1 lakh 75,000, 55,000, it comes to 2 lakh 30,000. So if you are going to buy any amount, anything like this, in peace bill also, the provision. In respect of a single transaction, suppose the purchase value of the vehicle is 2,20,000 rupees. It should be paid only in the form of account pay check. See, a lot of things I came to know that. So in order to get advertisement, people they say that we have paid 8 lakh worth of coins in cash to the vehicle seller to buy the vehicle. So they are getting huge advertisement. Okay, 8 lakh coins. So 1 rupee coin, 5 rupees coin. But income tax department has already issued notices to that person because your cash payment exceeds 2 lakhs. Though you paid every amount in cash, though that cash is accountable, but income tax department has already issued notice that you have violated the section. So received in the money in 5 installments of 44,000 each. The purchase value of the vehicle is 2,20,000 and it has to be paid only in the form of account pay check. In case if the value, if they paid in 44,000 of 5 installments, all the amount of 44,000 you have to pay only in the form of account pay check, including the chit payments. Lot of chit companies are there. Even the chit company, they are not supposed to receive the money if the value exceeds 2 lakhs in cash. So they are running 2 lakhs value of the chits. Even the subscription also is attracted by this provision. The concept is a single receiver. So if there are multiple receivers, everybody has got 2 lakh limit. The concept is if you are making payment to a single receiver, the payment should be made only in the form of account page. The receipt even the payment is received on different dates also, it is covered. So they say that one particular transactions. Let us take this a credit bill. You are making purchase sale amount, and the payment has to come only in the form of account page. That is the person who is making the payment, he has to do the transaction only in the form of account pay check. So money received from the same person. Here money received, it is not relevant to the person who has paid the money. It is relevant to the person who has received the money. So jewelry shop owner, he is receiving the money by way of sale. Say here when the sale process exceeds 2 lakh rupees, then he has to receive the payment in cash, in check. And another thing, if it is a chit subscribers, if that chit value, auction value exceeds 2 lakhs and above, all the subscribed amount should also be covered by this provision. So this is a very, very dangerous provision that you have to. And if the payment is received on various dates also, the provisions of this cash transaction exceeding 2 lakhs is. And in respect of transaction relating to one event or occasion from a person, there's a single receiver, single pay. So if it is being but received by multiple receiver, this provision is not applicable. If it is being paid by multiple payer, it is not applicable. So single receiver, single payer, and the cash payment related to the single event. It is not applicable for the multiple event. Single receiver, single payer, single event, and the occasion, if the amount value exceeds 2 lakhs or above, it has to be paid only in the form of account pay check, DD, draft, RTGS and NEFT. And no payment should be made in the form of cash. And event or occasion is not defined in income tax. Normally they are saying that marriages are covered. This is only an example. Marriages, birthday function, anniversary, functions of religious bodies, exhibition, etc. This is a thing that is being covered under the meaning of event or occasion, but the event or occasion is not defined in the income tax act. Various functions must be considered as one event in split pay. Suppose if you are going to the say marriage party, say morning you have got evening you have got a reception function, next day morning you have got a marriage function, and all these functions should be considered as one event, even if it is being splitted in different ways. There will be a lot of functions will be there in the same marriage. So all the functions should be treated as a single event or single occasion. What is the exceptions? Any receipt by the government. In case the event is conducted by the government, then if the government is receiving the payment, then any banking company or post office bank or cooperative bank transactions of the nature in relation to section 269 SS and as specified by the central government by notification and payments made in digital payments, no problem, you can do it. And what is the penalty? Yes, you have made the payment for single receiver, single payer, single event. The penalty is the business income or turnover exceeds 50 crore must be compulsorily accept only the digital payment. Otherwise, penalty of 5,000 rupees per day attracts till such continuous failure. 2 lakhs or more is received in cash, then it is very simple. The government will levy equal penalty of the amount which you have received in cash. It's a very, very dangerous provision. So you have to be very careful. And disallowance under section 48.3. Disallowance under 48.3 means, suppose if you made any expenditure, if the expenditure is 10,000 or more, and the expenditure is related to business or profession, then that 10,000 or more should be paid. If it is paid on a single day, then that payment should be made only in the form of pay check or deed. So 10,000 or more, it is actually exceeding 10,000. They are saying it is exceeding 10,000 in a single day. If you paid, then it is okay. If you paid in the form of account pay check, DD or NEFT or RTGS, it is okay. And if the payment is less than 10,000, sorry, the payment is 10,000 and less, then you are safe. So the payment of amount exceeding 10,000, it is not 10,000 or more, it is exceeding 10,000 in a single day, then cash should not be allowed to be paid. And if it is being paid, it is disallowed. All the payments will be disallowed and added to your income. And what are the exceptions? The rule says, there is a specific rule, that is rule 60D. It says, payment made to RBI, State Bank of India, Cooperative Bank, Land Mortgage Bank, PSCB, LIC, payment made to the government. Yes, you can make cash payment if even the amount exceeds 10,000. And payment made in specified modes like letter of credit, telegraphic transfer, book adjustment in a book, bill of exchange, payment made after the adjustment of liability. Suppose you adjust, there is a liability, there is a debtor, you can adjust, you can make the payment. So that is allowed. Then payment made for purchase of agricultural produce or produce of agricultural husbandries or dairy or fish products or the products of the horticulture. Then payment made towards purchase of products manufactured or processed without the aid of power. In a cottage industry, yes, if you are making the payment for this type of industry, even the payment exceeds 10,000 rupees, it is not be added to your income. And places where banking facilities are not available. Nowadays, it is very difficult because all the places, even all the villages are also have got the banking facility. Anyhow, it's a provision or exception given in Rule 60D. And Payment made to an employee or the leavehead with the connection to retirement or retrenchment, resignation, discharge, or death of such employee or terminal benefits, and the aggregate amount should not exceed 50,000. So up to 50,000 rupees, you can make cash payments at the time of retirement retrenchment. Then payment made to the temporary employee, that temporary employee should be employed for a continuous period of 15 days or more where TDS is made. So if that is being made, temporary employee is there, he worked for 15 days or more. So TDS is also made against the payment to the temporary employee, then you are permitted to make the cash payment because he is a temporary employee. And payment made by the taxpayer to the agency, let us take it as just like a consignment transactions, you can have it to make the payment to the third party. At the time of purchase of foreign exchange, traveler's check from the authorized dealer during the normal course of the business. At the time of purchase of foreign exchange, so nowadays even the authorized dealers, they insist the buyer of foreign exchange and traveler's check to remit to the amount by way of account pay check or DD if the purchase exceeds 50,000 and above. So up to 49,999, you can have a foreign exchange by way of, you can purchase a foreign exchange by way of payment of cash, by way of payment through cash. And the deemed income of subsequent year in which the payment is made. And allowance, our provision is made in the balance sheet and it is shown in the liability, just like Sunday creditors, it is shown. There's a provision, it is there in the balance sheet, and the payment is made on the subsequent year. And if the provision is more than 20,000 or more, in case of loan or in case of expenses, there is expenses payable of 10,000, more than 10,000, it should be paid only in the form of account pay check. Even if it is paid in the next year, it is allowed, but that should be paid, or even if it is partly paid, then that payment should be made only in the form of account pay check or DD or account NEFT or RTGS. Subsequent year, you can make the payment. That payment should also be made only in the form of account pay transactions. No cash should be made. And one can say that's a last year transaction. If I make the cash payment, yes, that is not permitted. Even if it is there, then it is disallowed and it will be added to income. And in case if you hire a vehicle and you are paying the transport cost or freight, then the limit of 10,000 is increased to 35,000. That is more than 35,000. If the payment is being made, then that has to be paid in the form of account pay check or DD. And disallowance in respect of capital asset. Yes, you are going to buy some capital asset. Yes, you are permitted, but here they say that if you are going to buy one capital asset and the value exceeds 10,000 in a day, that has to be paid only in the form of account pay check or DD or NEFT or RTGS or other electronic modes. In case if you make the payment in cash, that they say that 10,000 or more in a day to buy a capital expenditure. Such payment is not to be treated as the actual cost of such assets. And if the cost of the asset is to be treated as zero, then no depreciation is allowed. This is a very, very dangerous provision. This point also you have to bear in mind. And cash donations to the political parties, up to 2,000 rupees, you can make, 2,000 rupees as donation. And if the value of exceeds 2,000, then this should be disallowed. Even that cash donation to the registered trust and political party. This is what the Act says. Exceeds 2,000, they are not eligible to claim deduction under Section 80G of the Income Tax Act. So this is a very, very important provision that everybody must know this. And now sometimes the party pays the health insurance premium in cash. Income tax clearly say that all the health insurance premium should be paid only in the form of account pay check, account pay DD, NEFT, RTGS or other electronic mode, and it should not be paid in the form of cash. If paid, then you are not eligible to get the deduction. And this is a very, very interesting area wherein I am going to touch now. Cash holding. How much cash that you can have at your home? This, whenever the income tax department do some search and seizure of the office or home of the assessee, they found huge cash. So whenever the ID department asks for the source of the cash, they are not able to give the source. So here my view and my reply is there is no limit. You can have any number of cash, but you should be you should be in a position to give the source of the income. You have to give the source of the income for that money. Sir, I have withdrawn the money from the bank. I have kept that money in my house. I have got the money as sale advance of less than 20,000 that is there in my house. So for each and every rupee, you have to, if you are able to give the explanation or evidence to the income tax department, then it is permitted. So any number of cash, any quantity of cash you can have at your home, but the only thing is you must be in a position to give the source of income. Normally, when you have got a huge cash, definitely it definitely leads to suspicious doubts from by the income tax department. So you have to bear in mind that you should be in a position to give the entire cash and entire cash source, because I've got 10 lakhs of cash from where it has come. If you give the explanation to the income tax department, if it is within the source, correct source, then they will accept. Otherwise, they will confiscate all the cash and you will be asked to come to the department. You have to explain the source. Otherwise, it will be the entire cash will be added as your income and you have to pay income tax according to that. And what are the important, the penalty and other related matters are, in case if you fail to reveal the source of income, then the penalty up to 137% can be levied by the income tax department. Cash transactions exceeding 50,000 rupees, then PAN has to be quoted, and even cash transactions exceeding 50,000 and above, you have to quote the PAN transactions. Deposits of 20 lakhs or more, submission of PAN and Aadhaar is a must. Failure to submit PAN or Aadhaar, suppose if you are not able to submit the PAN or Aadhaar, the income tax department can levy penalty up to 20 lakhs. That is, everything is related to cash transactions. Cash of 2 lakhs cannot be taken from the relatives on a single day. Here, normally what we are doing, we are receiving some gift from father. Normally we used to say in the account, sir, I have received a cash amount of say 5 lakhs from my father. Yes, it is permitted, but it should not be on a single day. If you give the credit of 5 lakhs on a single day, then you have to pay the penalty for this. So you have to do the tax planning. It is permitted. They say that receiving cash of 2 lakhs, it should not be done on a single day. So 1.75 lakhs, 1.75 lakhs, and 1.5 lakhs. You can split and you can do it, but this may be soon the department will plug this loophole also. But as of now, it is the tax planning. And with this, I'm just closing today's presentation with reference to cash transactions. And please, you have to be very, very careful when you do the transaction, particularly when you are selling the property. You must receive the sale process only in the form of account pay check, account pay DD. And this is a very, very dangerous thing. It has come into the effect from 2019. So you have to be very, very careful. And income tax department definitely, they will go and approach all the sub-registrar office. They will take all the information. You will soon receive the notice from the income tax department and all the other things what I stated about the cash transactions. Please ensure that there should not be any violation of cash transactions. Otherwise, you have to pay equal penalty, or sometimes that will be treated as your income. Please be careful when you are doing the transactions in cash. And with this, I'm just closing my today's presentation. Thank you very much for patient watching of this presentation. Nandri, Vanakkam.